Well, all right. Hello. Sean Brady with a special edition of Leverage Your Lunch Hour because we're talking about cool things and cool people. Two of very cool people who I have on today are my coaches, Jay and Annie Adkins of the Adkins Pro Network. Now, they're in the genre of life coaches, but they also have an extensive background in real estate. And we'll go into a little bit more on that tomorrow, but why we said meet your Clubhouse mods is really this. Every Friday at 11:15 Central, I host a special real estate hour focused and real estate centric call. And that's where we get together, we share actions, we share vision, and we even share a little bit of accountability, like what we're going to be doing in the upcoming week and even complete anything that we've made. For those that have been on the call before, they can do that. So without further ado, this is Jay and Andy Adkins. I've been with them. My wife and I have been with them for 3 years, although we haven't done any real estate deals. Well, I take that back. We did one real estate deal with these guys, right? And we also have some other investment properties on our own. But I wanted to meet these guys because we're going to talk about something that goes to mindset. But without further ado, Jay and Andy Adkins, welcome. How are you guys?
We are good.
We're doing
I'm cold,
awesome. I'm awesome.
You know that happens in February in Ohio. Cold.
Yes. So we're all in the Midwest. We're in St. Louis, and you guys are in Ohio, and we got lots of snow on the ground.
Yes, we do.
That's right.
But no matter if it's sunshine and snowing or freezing pipes, we always have our vision, and that's what we're talking a little bit about today.
Absolutely.
Now, you guys helped not necessarily develop, but certainly helped us walk through and stay accountable to creating our vision. So I'll ask you guys, what's a vision and why it's important? I know, but the audience wants to know.
I was going to say, Sean.
I know, I do.
A vision for us is just writing out who you want to become.
Yep. What life you want to live.
Yeah, in the most simplest format. So what's important to you in your life, and what goals do you want to set? And that can be personal, it can be business, both, hopefully both.
Right.
Hopefully separated the two. And just really drilling down to who is the best version of me,
right,
that I want to be,
the best life you want to live. So it's either a personal vision and business. We teach both, obviously, and we have both, but yeah, it's what your life, what you want it to look like, what you want to do, where you want to go, who you want to be with, just like the atmosphere that you want to live in. And that goes for your business as well. So we have one for both.
One reason I brought you guys on today was, just knowing you over the years and watching your vision change and our vision change,
right.
Singularly and together as a couple, and certainly as a business. Yeah. And for those that don't know, Jay and Annie have been in the real estate business for quite a while now. And certainly they've had what I like to call a vertically integrated real estate practice. So they've done everything from the financing to the brokerage. Jay is a licensed real estate broker. Yep. And they have a team. They have a construction company. They have rentals. They have a property management company. And not just in Ohio, but really across the United States. And right now, I forget how big your portfolio is, but I think the last count, it was like 24 properties.
Yep, you are correct.
Yep.
So give people a sense of, that's what you have right now. But where did you start off at when you just started? You didn't have anything. You just started this vision process for yourselves.
Right. Yes, absolutely. So when we first started the vision process, we were introduced to it by a company named Life and Air. That's where we met you and your wife, Michelle, and lots of other people. We were coaches for them for 2 years. Yep. And they really, opened our eyes to what your life could be like with a vision versus what it was like without one, right? Jay was working 80 hours a week and thought one day off a month was fantastic. And it came down to where I said, I can get the same kind of support from you that I can your paycheck. So something's got to give. that's the short version, the very short condensed version. But I went to a 3-day Get a Life event is what they called it. And I went in thinking that this was just going to be something else that we bought and sat on the shelf. I was open to it ish, but not so much at the same time.
Yes.
But then as I sat there, I realized that this is exactly what we needed. And we really kind of dove in, or I did anyway, head first, make this happen, no doubt about it kind of thing. And we have changed our vision multiple times over the years. And, because we say it's living and breathing document. So it's constantly changing, and things are being rearranged and met and exceeded and, tossed out the window if it didn't work the way that we planned on it doing. So we review it every year, at least once. We look at it every day, because the more you ingrain that in your subconscious and in your daily practices, the more it becomes a reality, instead of just thinking about it. So we always teach, goals and a vision are just basically dreams until you put it on paper. And then until you start taking those action steps to accomplish those things, they're just kind of ideas and dreams and big thinking. But now we take 12 to 16 weeks a year of vacation time instead of 1 day a month.
Well, that's a little bit better.
It's just a little better. I think probably the biggest challenge, and a lot of other entrepreneurs may be able to relate, is me personally, I was so focused on building the business, that I sort of had a vision for business, what I wanted that to look like. Sort of means it was kind of cloudy.
Right.
So it wasn't highly effective to make a plan when it's cloudy, but I was having success. But because it was just business, that was my only focus. And so I really gave up my life, like having fun or doing things outside of business. I was so focused on building the business that I let my family go on the back burner, and friends go on the back burner, and just having fun in general, doing things that I love to do outside of business. So,
and now I know you to be a person who actually does a lot of fun things outside of business. This is certainly from a health standpoint. And I know you're always in shape. Is it a triathlon you're training for now?
Yes.
Well, I was, yes. This
then
year,
you had an injury, right?
Yeah. This year, that vision has changed. Now, I agreed to do a physique bodybuilding competition in November.
Well, there you go.
It's wild and crazy and way out of our comfort zone. And so we like to push ourselves out of our comfort zone and try new things and change it up.
Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, because some people might be seeing this for the first time and going, vision, what? I don't want to be no bodybuilder. What are you, nuts? I don't want to run no triathlon. People, I don't want to do a triathlon. And I certainly don't want to be in a physique competition, not in my wheelhouse, right? I might want to get a little bit more, strong and flexible, but not in my vision. Doesn't have to be in yours. But the overwhelming thing is you build it and you're constantly changing it. So what did it go back a moment, and what did it look like when you first were starting that, so go back where it was, you're working 80 hours a week, Jay, and you have this disconnect with your family.
Yeah.
What did you notice began to change right away? Because now it's easy to look back and say hindsight's always 20/20. Oh, of course we're going to have 4 weeks of vacation together and, be away from the work life. Yes. Right. But when you're immediately stuck in it, 80 hours a week seems normal.
Right.
And all the craziness, the separation between family and relationship seems normal. And, that's too far of a stretch to be having loving relationships and 4 weeks of vacation to, I'm joining a physique competition.
Right.
I don't even know. You can't even fathom that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Me either.
So going back to the baby step, what did you notice probably within the first few weeks, months of actually beginning your vision? What did you notice? How did it begin to change then?
That's a fantastic question, Sean. And the reason why is because the vision is who you want to become, right? And it seems fake when you write it out initially. Like, oh, this is so ridiculous. Like, this isn't real. This isn't me.
It's never gonna happen.
I don't see this happening, but this is what I want. Right. And so initially, because we had a mentor to help us, they were able to extract which parts of it can you do now, right? Maybe you can't do a 4 weeks of vacation right now, but what about a 3-day? How about we start with that, right? So we started small and started working our way up. And I think that was the biggest change, just finding some spots that we could start doing now and start implementing the life vision that we want to live. We can start living some of those life elements right away. And so that just comes with writing all out and then figuring out, which parts can we start to do now.
So one of the biggest things that we use to do a vision work with, to kind of break it out and see where we need to go and what we need to do, is the Wheel of Life, which you are familiar with and other people may be as well, but
Google it if you're not.
Yeah, it breaks things out into different sections. So it's spiritual, health and wellness, family and friends, business or career, what else? Significant other, charity, anything that you can
spiritual.
Think of that you want to focus on. And it just kind of separates you from the day-to-day of your business, because as entrepreneurs, there are a lot of people that just get stuck in the, does my business work for me, or do I work for my business kind of question. And lots of times, and in lots of different scenarios, it's more like you work for your business. And if you aren't there, then your business isn't doing what it needs to be doing. And that's really the biggest takeaway that I had initially being introduced to the vision stuff, is that we can have a business that works for us, that provides us with what we need it to provide it. Yeah. With what we need it to provide us with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
Yeah.
I think you said it right. I caught on to it. I'm sure other people will too.
Exactly. And we don't have to be involved in the day-to-day. There was a big thing, Jay's biggest thing when we first started was, if I don't do it, it's not done right. Even with me, when we started working together, we've been in real estate for 20 years, but it was his gig for a long time. And I would help as needed, or if he needed me to go do something, or I was the filing clerk because there was no filing happening as far as Jay was concerned ever. So it was, what could we do to set it up to where he doesn't have to be part of it every day, all day long, in order for stuff to happen? And what can I do to take some stuff off of his plate? And what can we do collectively? And who can we put into play to take a bunch of stuff off of our plates, so that we're working on the business and not in the business, and our business is working for us instead of us working in it?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to mention one thing. I don't know if I ever told you this, Sean, but when we got back, when I first wrote the vision, I literally came back home. It was out of town, and I tried to implement my vision immediately. So I only worked 20 hours the first week, and everything hit the fan.
So wait, in a good way or not a good way?
Not so much.
So you can't do it right away.
Right.
But it's kind of like trying to turn a ship liner or stopping a train. You're going, so you can't just do it on a dime, Jay. Come on now.
Exactly. Working.
What are you, new to life? Come on.
That's the ultimate optimism right there. But
right
down.
Stop, change, start.
Exactly.
Not that quickly.
So
Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Right.
That's right. That's why I mentioned, figuring out what you can do, what you can start to do now. Right.
Yeah.
Because yes, taking 60 hours off of your plate in a day's time is not the best way to do it.
So another example, I would work usually till like 9 o'clock at night. And so the goal was just stop at 8. And then the next goal was stop at 7. Right.
Yeah.
So baby steps to get you there.
And only work Monday through Friday.
No. Yeah. When I'm thinking about this, just even for my own thing, and this was long before Life and Air, but some things you can quit right away when you're ready. Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I used to be a smoker. Don't tell my kids. It's on video. But I did. I used to work in bars when you could do that. And, it was probably a pack a day at one point in time.
Right.
But I also, in that same time, I'm like, I don't enjoy this anymore. I'm just going to stop. So after half a pack of cigarettes on one New Year's Eve, I just stopped.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Gave them away and just done.
Yeah.
But then there's other things that we can't do. And more specifically for me, it was a real life example now. We want to go do all these overseas travel. We can't even do that right now. Right. So even if we had $1 gazillion, we can't go to these countries. They're not letting anybody in, especially from America.
Yeah.
But what we can do is, what action can we take towards that? Right. Mm-hmm. So what Michelle and I did, and by her suggestion, right? It's not my idea, it was her idea, and she got it from somebody else. But we just started watching all, I think it was Prime Video or Netflix, and just all these, we punched in travel, see what came up. And we wanted to go to different countries in Europe. So we virtually went to, watched a show on Italy, and then Portugal and Spain and Scotland and England, all these different things. And we bounced around because some of them were kind of boring. We didn't want to do those. But the point was, we took some action towards that actual vision of world travel and, going to these destination locations for, a few weeks at a time and just really enjoying them and things like that. Even though we're not there yet, we're taking action around it right now.
Right.
And I think that's what you're saying is it's like, there's things you can do right now that are in line with that kind of pie in the sky, no way is this attainable now type of thing. And that's what I wanted to make sure I shared. And people don't have to be afraid. It's like, it's not faking it till you make it. It's actually, this is what I want. These are some actions I'm going to take towards it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We were in a coaching group, and we still are in a coaching group. It was a different coaching group that we were in.
And how many coaching groups are you guys in right now?
We are members of one.
Members of one. Good. And then you guys also have your own coaching group.
Yes.
Yes.
Then
which is very cool.
Members of one and facilitators of one. And we actually are starting a second group as well as facilitators. And then we teach for REI USA as well. So, but we were coaching members with another couple that wanted to travel to Italy for 3 months out of the year. And at the time, he was retired. She still had a daytime 9-to-5 job. And they were trying to figure out what they could do now to get to where they wanted to go in the future. Well, she sat down with her husband and they figured out exactly where in Italy they wanted to go and where they wanted, the area in which they wanted to stay. And, they spend like 1 month in Florence and 1 month in Rome and then 1 month in
Madrid,
Sicily, or one of those other Italian places, right?
Spain, Italy, it's all good.
Right.
Somewhere over there.
Exactly. They got on Airbnb and kind of looked in those areas and found an average price for the place or the kind of place that they wanted to stay. So then they started putting dollar amounts next to where they wanted to go for the length of time that they wanted to go. So they had an idea of how much money they needed in order to make that happen. And then they reverse engineered the plan to get her out of her job, to get the money saved up to go, down to the pennies, where they wanted to stay, how much they needed for food in that particular area, the airfare to Italy, and then the hopping from town to town, what that was going to cost. Just lay it all out so that you can put into place different things, checking out areas and stuff like that to get it moving in the right direction.
They were there within a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's
now
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they go every year. Well, until
COVID.
this past year.
Well, yeah, right. That's awesome. Yeah. That's very cool. That's what I want people to know out there, that this stuff works, and it's it helps having some people to hold your hand along the way, and it's like just keep doing it. It's like and I would even say that for myself, and you guys have begun to know me a little bit, how I do and do not do things, right? And they're laughing for a very particular reason. Backing up my wife, Michelle. But the truth of the matter is, what helps is just having the regularity of even a monthly check-in, or we even have a retreat every 4 months or so, and where we come together physically when we can, virtually lately, but where we just check it in and things like that. So I wanted to make sure people understood all that, because what we're doing even on Clubhouse is we're not going as a deep dive into this, but I wanted people to understand and know a little bit more about you guys, and a little bit more about me and some of the vision things that we'll be talking about, and action practices every Friday on Clubhouse at 11:15 Central. What else would you like to say?
I would like to say, if you are unable to afford currently a mentor or coach or a mastermind, then I would recommend you start your own.
Ooh, I love that.
Find like-minded people that also want to excel in their life and want to focus on being the best well-rounded person that they can be. Then form your own mastermind and bring people together. We've done that locally here before too.
The local meetup we started.
Yeah.
Again, before COVID, but
so there's opportunity for you. If you want it bad enough, then be the leader and start it.
Absolutely.
Anything fancy, and it doesn't have to be something that you charge for. Even the meetup was free. We did it once a month. Sometimes there were 2 people, sometimes there were 22 people. There was really no way of knowing.
Yeah.
But it was just something that helped hold people accountable when they couldn't afford otherwise. Because masterminds are not cheap. Obviously, there's definitely a need for them.
Yeah. If we went back to when we started, 20 years ago, we wouldn't have been able to afford a mastermind at that point.
Sure.
So,
but basically, get in action and start doing something.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And do it with other people.
Yeah. Yes. And even if it's just an accountability partner, your accountability group was fantastic. But
that's one of my groups, people. Get to know your moderators really well. I have a non-accountability group. I'm not doing that. Nor will I be held accountable. No way. Only on some things.
Yeah. But it can be just somebody else. It doesn't have to be multiple people. You know what I mean? It can be 1 or 2 people that you share your vision with, or your idea of what your life would be like, that says, you're talking about doing this, but that's not what you say you wanted to do. So it's just somebody to hold you accountable for what you say you want, because in the day-to-day, you get sidetracked real easy, and shiny object syndrome happens often for all of us. So
I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, what's that over there?
Yeah, I
just kidding.
When I first set fitness goals, I just wanted to be more fit and feel better about me. Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't start with, I'm going to run a triathlon.
No,
it was, I'm going to run a half mile today. And then I moved to a mile.
Yep.
And then 2 miles, and then a 5K.
Yep.
And then,
I was just going to say, actually, the Couch 5K app that's on your phone, it's a lot like that. You know what I mean? It just starts you out very very slowly, and you add to it every day or every week or every month, depending on what your goal is. And then you realize 6 to 8 to 12 months down the road that you've either met that or exceeded that, or need to change your vision because that no longer is something that you worry about even.
I had to change mine last year because, like you said, Sean, I got injured.
Yeah.
And I couldn't run or bike for a while, or I couldn't do much for a while, but so I changed my entire strategy. But the goal was still the same, the ultimate goal, which was try to stay fit and get exercise, and be consistent with developing me physically, the best that I can at that point.
That's awesome. Well, we just saw a little pop-up thing from Jenny. So she's minding our time in the background. She's our awesome media consultant and coordinator at Medici MediaSpace. So she's making sure we're staying true to what we're supposed to be on task and doing, which is great. That's another thing that we learned is I might be able to do this, but it's a lot easier to do it with outside help. Don't do it on your own.
Yes.
One thing I'll say and ask you this, because I know you guys certainly have coaching groups, because I'm certainly in it, but then you're speaking to other groups, specifically other REI groups. What's an REI group? It's not the little sports store, is it?
No.
What's an REI group?
It's a real estate investor group.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I know you're going to be speaking to one in the future, and that's something that you guys do. And is that something you charge for? Is that, gratis in exchange for something else? Because I know it's a lead generator for, your program, and see if it's a good fit for people. But how do you like to do that with people in groups?
Well, if we speak to a group, it's typically, we don't charge to come and speak. It's just a free event on our end. Depending on the group, they may charge their members, they may charge new members. It just depends on the group.
Yep.
And typically we are not selling anything, so it's free so sometimes it's free for anybody. Sometimes they charge a minimal amount of a fee to come in here, but
sure.
We always provide free content, and when we speak, for the most part, and then give you a landing page to go to.
Right. Find out more, right?
That provides you with free stuff, but also gets you on our mailing list, and then we can mail you free and non-free stuff, I guess.
And that's the way of things today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find out a little bit more information. You don't have to commit to anything. You certainly don't have to be pressured into anything.
Oh,
and it's all a value-driven society, which I really like. So
yeah, people that resonate with us and want to take it to the highest level, those are the ones that reach out and join the coaching and mastermind program.
Very cool.
To interrupt, but I have to go to a closing real quick.
All right. See, there you go.
We got
to tighten these suckers up. She's got to use her actual signature to go take care of some stuff.
Yeah.
Which is always exciting. So
we actually do what we say we do. So
part of the accountability factor.
Yeah, she's going to sign the papers for our latest flip that we just sold. Well, we're selling it right now.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Very, very cool. Well, and I don't remember where I picked this up from. It might have been Robert Kiyosaki or somebody like that. But it's like, hey, real estate and business isn't a solo sport, right? Yeah. It takes a team of advisors, of help. From everyone from the titles company closing agent to the bird dog finding the property to everybody in between. And there is a place for a whole lot of people, and it doesn't have to be real estate. It can be anything in life, but know that there is place for you somewhere in that realm. So it's good.
Yeah.
Jay, I'll make sure I put Jay and Annie Adkins Pro Network. If you Google that, I'm sure their stuff will come up. And I'll make sure I put a link to your page down below. But is there anything else you'd like to add before we sign off, Jay?
I would just say, get a vision. Like, write out what you want in your life. Reach out to us. We have a vision video that we would share if anybody needs it or wants it.
There you go.
So
see, no money required.
No, just a desire.
Just desire and action. Well, I when you said something earlier on vision, so I wanted to make share this Japanese proverb. So I'm putting my glasses on so I can read it. Vision without action is a daydream, but action without vision is a nightmare.
Oh,
isn't that profound?
I really
Boom!
like
I'm going to put that in the link in the description down below.
Yeah, please. That was really cool.
Japanese proverb, pretty awesome stuff. All that being said, Jay and Annie Adkins, thank you for your time today. And like we always say, we might not see you in person, but we're always going to see you right here on social media. Thanks for watching.